This is Family Hour, and today we want to look at really the role of how we are looking at the role of proper bookkeeping, because bookkeeping is another thing, and proper bookkeeping is also another one. But we're looking at the role of proper bookkeeping in tax compliance, and I now remember on this very platform when you said that some people really don't keep records of their transactions, and it is the reason you cannot claim. So when URA comes, you just keep quiet and accept whatever they, because you really have no basis of claiming that whether tax is more than what I should be paying or less, because you really don't have any basis. And from your explanation, I see that it is really important for every business person to at least have a record of their transactions. And so we continue with our discussion. You were telling us before the break that whatever URA does operates around the records you have.
Yes. Now, quite often, taxpayers have a thinking that when they tell URA will actually follow what they are saying. That can never happen. URA will listen, but after listening, they want to look at the documentary evidence. It is not just the words we have, because the words, we try to explain the circumstances in our favor. But the transaction documents actually explain everything without us, favoring ourselves.
Yes.
What am I saying? If you have bought from me, I have given you an invoice, you paid, I gave a receipt. It is as simple as he supplied, gave me a delivery note, raised an invoice, demanding for his payment. I paid him, he issued me a receipt. Those are at least 3 documents.
Yes.
The moment you have those documents, they are enough to support your transaction. But for you want to say, I bought from Mr. Mukaras. The question is, what did you buy? When did you buy? What shows that you bought? All those questions you find you have no answer for.
The other two might be easy, but now what shows becomes...
what shows?
Yes.
Of course, quite often when we are discussing, we feel when we talk, people will listen to us. And you meet people actually struggling, using harsh words against URA. But what I always tell them, I'm in several groups where taxation is always discussed. What I normally do, I first listen, then I'm right. If you happen to appreciate where URA is coming from, possibly you would have used different words, possibly the thinking and what you are saying would have been different. Because look, URA is a revenue collection body for the government of Uganda. They use the laws that are enacted in Parliament of Uganda. Theirs is to apply the law, implement the law in tax collection and administration. So if there is anything that is wrong, you cannot now fault URA. Because the law comes from Parliament. This week, we have had a discussion in one of the forums. URA does not even have a chance of allowing businesses that have just started to operate even for a year. Then I asked on the group, I said, wait a minute. Do we have any law in Uganda that exempts these startups for, say, 5 years without paying tax? These guys said no. So if we don't have that law, look for your parliamentarians, raise your concerns, then they will go in Parliament and amend the law.
Because URA is effecting what the Parliament has passed.
They say this year, this is the tax law. URA will implement the law and collect taxes. But putting that aside, that in the tax administration and collection, when we talk about a return, it is just a template that we use to feed figures and report them. Now, these figures that we are reporting to URA should be coming from somewhere. Normally, for now, organized companies, they should be coming from what we call financial statements, the income statement and the balance sheet. But even the other businesses, the small ones, still these figures should be coming from somewhere. Do you have, for example, a receipt book where one can go and sum up your sales for a period. So that you know, by the time I tell you that, you remember when we were talking about the presumptive tax?
Yes.
If you are to say, I'm in a bracket of 130 million, like what is your basis? Should it be just words? It can't, it is not sustainable.
Do you just wake up in the morning?
Even if you have to be URA today, you cannot just listen to people saying, me, my business is small. Like what shows that it is small? You know? So let us put emotions out and appreciate the realities. That you cannot talk about business. Business is a game of numbers. You cannot talk about numbers when they are nowhere. These numbers must be documented. Because we start from transactions before going to URA. URA actually comes in later. So before we go to declaration and filing returns, can we first clean our houses? I'm not talking about accounting, the other sophisticated accounting. Know what
where
you have sold.
Balance brought forward, balance carried forward.
No, not those ones. I'm limiting myself not to go there. But can you know, this is what I have bought in a period, this is what I have sold, I'm demanding from these ones are also demanding from me. Just basic bookkeeping. Now, even at that, when we are saying proper, as long as I can tell with ease my purchases, my sales, my expenses, then to me, these are proper records. The question is, after 2 years, if someone visited you, can you still show these records, or you have already burnt the books? Remember, the law, again, asks us, requires us, mandates us, that we should keep these records for at least 5 good years. Because taxation is historical in nature. By the time they come asking you for some of these issues, it is years later. Remember, like now in 2024, they are asking things of 2019, 2020, 2021, 2020, you know? So, if you keep records and the year is done, you must be filing them somewhere. So, just knowing what you have sold for a year is not the end. That you must maintain, irrespective of the form in which they are. There are people who, now with technology, they use Excel and all that and keep them. But if you are using Excel, receipts are not in Excel.
Yes.
Receipts, you have a receipt book which you must maintain. Remember, in a receipt book, quite often there are 3 copies. At one, you issue a receipt, give it to someone. Maybe if you have another department, you remove another copy, send it to the other department, then the book remains a copy. That even after 3 years, if you have a disagreement with the figure for sales, like, we have our book. If you are URA, you want to know, these are our receipt books, please sum them up and see. If you don't agree with the figures that you presented, we have our receipt books. But most of us want to record at the end of 1 month, we are losing these documents. We are acting against the law. Because the law asks us 5 years. By the way, if it is an investigation, it can even be more years than 5. If you are and the government is interested in something and they are doing an investigation, now you cannot say, you see, it is only 5 years. Why are you asking me about the 7th year? That cannot arise. But under normal circumstances, at least keep these records for 5 years. Now, as long as you have maintained your records, you always pay a fair tax. How is a fair tax? I've made sales of 100 million, but my expenses and the cost of investment is 90 million. So my profit before tax is 10 million. The government wants 30%, you remain with 7%. As far as our laws are concerned, that is a fair tax. Yes, people can urge about the rate being higher or what, but as far as our tax law is concerned, that is the situation. Because I wouldn't want to come here and start saying this rate is like, no, that's not my role. My role is appreciating the law as is and trying to look at the implication and application. Yes.
Talking about compliance, now we have people who have now digitized their businesses, that you realize most of the transactions are done on systems. So there is a system, so they have that, they have that record. Could this be another way running away from this manual system of writing what I have sold, what I have bought, and all that? And then if I fill everything in the system, is it one as a better way of monitoring the business, but also another way of record keeping?
I must say that today there is no law that limits which mode one should use. It can be a manual system, it can be a digital system. Okay. But even whether manual or digital, the outputs are the same. That can you have a system that can give you each and everything that you want supporting your transactions. That's what is important. Now, if it is an established business, you realize that now when IFRS came in from 2021, they are saying if you already have your digital system, do a system integration, so that by the time you do whatever you are doing, URA also has a photo of what you are doing. Now that way, one of the advantages with that is that even if your system has got any issues, URA system is still operational. So you can still retrieve your transactions and whatever and the reports from IFRS run by URA. So to answer your question straight, it doesn't matter whether it is digital or manual. But of course, with technology advancement today, most businesses are going into digital operations.
Yes. Well, we also have another set of people who never mind about getting receipts. For instance, someone supplies you things, and then all they do is to write a piece of paper in their exercise book to show how much they're demanding from you, but they never offer a receipt to you. How do you deal with such expenses?
Now, in accounting, such businesses, we say they operate what we call incomplete records or single entry records. But under normal circumstances, when you are operating a proper system of accounting, there are do's and don'ts. You can never make a sale without a receipt, because a receipt is a confirmation of receipt of money. You get? When, for example, you are delivering, it is very wrong to deliver without a delivery note. Because the delivery note will confirm that on this day, I delivered to Church House these items, and who received them? Mr. Mukazi.
And what very many businesses do is, for example, someone is in Masaka, they have a supplier in Kampala, they call them. So what the supplier does, they load stuff on a taxi, and then the taxi is supposed to leave the stuff somewhere, so that a border guy will pick it and deliver it. But also, what the supplier does is to write a receipt, take a photo of it on WhatsApp and share it.
Now, of course, if one has finally received and confirmed that I have received and shares something, then the other person is missing. Because there are chances of actually receiving and says, me have not received. I've seen this happen at one point in one of the companies around. Someone goes to deliver items, the other people stand and know that this is a loophole. Someone has not given a delivery note, so they have not signed. After the guy has gone, people say, we never received it. And all the batch of goods disappeared like that. And the company went into losses. You get?
Yeah.
The system or the procedure should be, me who is delivering, which document do I give you to confirm that I have delivered? It is not just a phone call. And that's how we make mistakes. And that's the message I have. When we are doing business, let's avoid the verbal talks and communication. It would rather be a WhatsApp message. Please, I'm making my order. Can you send me A, B, C, D? No, that can be a formal order. You get it? Because this WhatsApp record, one can be printed. Even after days, you can refer to it if it has not now. If your phone is still okay. So you cannot rely on it for so long, because WhatsApp can easily get issues and you are uninstalled.
Exactly.
You get it? But if they are hard copies, that's why now the manual system, many people have tried to deal away with the manual system, but they have gotten challenges along the way. The manual system has advantages that the digital system can never beat. On a digital system, one can supply, depending on the rights, one can easily edit. But on a hard document, if one has signed and you know, I have authorized it, this is your signature.
Yes.
It's only you who can again say, I have changed it. But some other person cannot. Even when people have tried, along the way, the system actually gets them. We have seen people trying to forge the signature.
Yes.
But the signature is something that is important, that your signature is yours. That even when people try, it is not that easy. You get the point? So, bookkeeping, we should first appreciate it from the perspective of an individual understanding the business, evaluating and assessing the business profitability and viability before even looking at taxation. But when it goes to taxation, you can never get tax right or taxation right when bookkeeping is not right. What comes first? Bookkeeping first and taxation next.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, I'm realizing that you know, we want to always look out for the most convenience, but now what I'm realizing is that even when it is convenient, there will always be a backfire. Because when you realize how people are doing business today, and we think this is really convenient, you just send your money. You've never met this supplier, you don't even know how they look like. You just send the money, they deliver the goods, and that is all. You just call them and say, I received the goods, and that is all. But I think it is now important for both the supplier and the businessman. But even as we draw closer to the end of this discussion, I want you to re-echo the importance, especially for the people doing business, the importance of keeping these other documents, besides you having a record of your expenses and your incomes, these other documents that are important, like receipts, like invoices. Yeah.
Oh, there are many reasons why keeping is very key. That one, for example, you are to apply for a credit facility anywhere. The financials or the bankers always want to first understand your business. One way of understanding your business is looking at your business records. Without that, again, you struggle. That's one. Two, if you reach somewhere and you would want to bring in partners into your business, business is growing, but your capacity is somehow limited. You feel you can actually sell the idea to others and they join you. Then they must first look at the performance of the business. What gives them comfort is what they can read through documents and records. Without that, then how do I join you in something that I don't understand? Remember, for you have been there, but me, you are bringing me on board. Can I tell how this business is performing? Now, the other one, businesses where partnerships are taking place. Partnerships, not the formal partnership where, because as I said last time, partnership is where me and you come together,
Yes.
do business for a profit motive. You bring 1 million, I bring 1 million. Now that becomes a partnership. But even in these companies you see,
Yes,
there are more partnerships because I meet you, we meet and talk and decided to start a company together. You bring money, I bring money. So we start a company. Yes, it is a company, but when you look at the arrangement of this company, you are my partner, I'm your partner. So in most cases, you find one of us is running the business. Or even when we are all there is one like who is in full charge, full control. Now, the moment there are no records, expect that relationship not to last long. It is records that will allow you easily give an accountability of the business affairs. Explain to your colleague so that your colleague understands you. I've met many people come to my office asking, you guys, how should we structure? How do we run this business? One, you cannot do business where there is no trust in business. But to do this trust, everything must be transparent. Say, we did this, we did that, and these are the records. So that one goes through and feels comfortable to actually transact with you. You get the point?
Yes.
But also, if you wanted to sell the business, you reach somewhere like this business, think I can say that, get some money, and possibly I change the line of business. What can help you do this easily? It is having records. Tell someone, I started this business 5 years ago, but in the 5 years, this is how it has progressed. So that someone is comfortable to say, I think this business can work for me. But without records, you will yap and talk, but you can never convince someone. So those are some of the other advantages, but there are many more. There are many more, sure.
Sure. Thank you so much. I know this has been another eye-opener. You know, each time there is something we see, and you're like, okay. So this is also equally important when it gets to bookkeeping. So thank you so much. I can never stop thanking you because really this is a dedication, I should say, and a commitment to come and offer this knowledge to our viewer out there. And we just don't take this for granted. We surely appreciate you as the entire team of Family Hour. And to you, our viewer, thank you so much for always coming through, for always following, for always learning together with us. I've worked with Norman Conte, Brinko, and very many other people to see that you have this image. And from the entire team, good night. Meet again tomorrow.